There are some people that need control. When they don't have control, or when that control does not give them the tranquility they expect, they try to flee from that uncomfortable feeling and bring up their defense mechanisms. People then numb themselves using alcohol and drugs, try to perfect their surroundings, strive to make the uncertain certain, put blame on others as a way to discharge pain and discomfort. This seems to happen when the individual is insecure. In other words, when this person has unconscious or overlooked doubts of himself. There is a feeling that they have something wrong deep inside them. A feeling that seems unreasonable to consciousness. Psychology describes two types of insecurities, which could be considered the basis for neurosis. The first category is subdivided into two. On one hand, those who run from their insecurities and seek shelter in their work or study, and on the other hand, those who, when running from their disturbing thoughts, surround themselves with superfluous connections. Finally, the insecurities of those who are afraid of being like everybody else, afraid of sharing facets with those they criticize, hence protecting themselves through confinement. As Snell Putney said, the problem is as follows. A pressing need creates tension, which motivates the individual to action. Faulty interpretation of the nature of the need leads the individual into misdirected behavior, which leaves him deprived. Deprivation, now more extreme, triggers heightened tension. Faulty interpretation of this tension as anger or depression leads to a more frantic but misdirected action. What would happen if we expand the scope of what is perceived as normal? What if we could question the concept of acceptability? What if we could question the acceptability of what is acceptable? Can these give people freedom so they could shape a more accurate and acceptable self-image? What if we give more importance to the people than to the models? What if we trust that humans have the possibility to self-regulate, to self-grow, without reaching total anarchy? These are a series of toy dolls, still in development, that use the language of commercial action figures to portray more realistic, complex, humanistic heroes. Some social archetypes are taken and are rearranged with extra information about their needs, wants, and the moral conflicts comprising the realm of real, everyday human beings. This is a mobile app designed to connect facets otherwise hidden. It attempts to connect people in their fullest possible dimension. Under this scenario, people would be able to keep a journal, a diary, with some secrets that they want to keep, but also to share some secrets that deserve to be cathartically discharged. People would have the opportunity to comment and rate other people's comments about their secrets. What if we see people as they are, with their struggles, their weaknesses? Could we avoid judgment? Can we get closer to other people's lives? To what could be ours? This pedagogic toy is developed for parents to question the conditions of the worth implicit in their ideas and ideals, and for children to develop the concepts of accuracy and acceptability well required to develop a strong, secure self-image. Practically, it allows children to fit forms as well as unfit them. It also gives them the possibility to expand the understanding of any given problem when considering the box as an elastic assembly. This toy could be argued to respond to the concept of form-fitting, to the ideas we assimilate as desirable and needed. But in reality, it is just a toy that doesn't work as we expect it to. What if children could practice how not to fit? What if we could give them unconditional worth? Initially, the research focused on trying to understand mental disorders. It moved from schizophrenia to obsessive-compulsive disorders, but a problem quickly arose. There were different theories and different positions about the disorders and their tentative causes. A more deep revision of the theories behind psychology was required. I had a few interviews with a Colombian psychologist, read a few essays and books, and finally involved myself in counseling. The main game was the process that described the reparation journey of a patient: symptoms, reinterpretation of the symptoms, identification of the real conflict, and conflict reconfiguration. I tried to find connections between technology and the defense mechanisms of the present individuals, and in doing so, neurosis, or normalized neurosis, appeared as the main connective theory behind the project. The project finally aimed to give some tools to question the normal assumptions a neurotic person has. How do they understand the objects? What is the nature of the conversations that the project triggers, if any? How do they understand the project? How sensitive are the topics and the language used? Ultimately, can they, the objects, work as real empathetic tools?